Hey everybody, Matt with Jamison's Tractor here. We've got a pretty special package for you today. And this is going to be a little bit of a longer video because there's just a lot to know about this particular package. Some really cool things. This is really one of my favorite styles of tractors that you can get today. So hang on and follow us through this video so that we can tell you everything you need to know about this. The first thing I want to tell you is this is a consignment that I'm doing on behalf of a gentleman, and it's going to work just like anything else. It will still get the free delivery within 100 miles. It will still have the 7-day, 10-hour return policy, just like anything else that I sell. The only difference is I'm working with the owner to sell this as opposed to me owning this inventory. So just want to let everybody know that up front. It should be a very nice and smooth transaction, just as it usually is. The other thing is, I guess I want to tell you a little bit about the story of this machine before I get into the details. This machine came from East Tennessee. The gentleman who owns it was planning to retire. He's got family that lives in East Tennessee, and he's been living in Florida. He was planning to retire, and life has happened, and it has changed his plans. The property that he had there, he has sold, and he no longer has a use for this tractor. So it has been being stored at his family's property inside of a barn for its entire life since he purchased it. The tractor is about 1.5 years old. It's a 2022 model. So the trailer, the cutter, the tractor have all been stored indoors, and when you get around the machine, you can tell that this has not been stored outdoors because there's nothing faded, there's nothing scratched. You know, the only time that this was probably stored outdoors is whatever time it's spent on the dealer lot. So this machine is in excellent, excellent condition, probably about as good as you can get on a tractor, new or otherwise. The other thing to know is that I went and got this machine from the property that it was stored on, and so I got to see that it was stored in the barn. The gentleman who lives there, he'd been starting the tractor once a month, so the hours that are on this machine, it's only got 20 hours on it. A lot of those hours, or some of those hours, are for him starting it up and letting it run as opposed to the machine actually working. And then finally, when I got there to jump up on the seat and start it up, there was a cat sitting on the seat, and that's actually really good news. And you might be thinking, well, why would that be anything to mention? Well, cats keep rodents away from machines like this because a lot of times when you have something stored in the barn that's not used very often, mice will get into it and tear up the wires or build a nest or something like that. Well, I've been up under the hood of this machine. It is very clean, and that cat did us a favor and kept the rodents away from this machine. So let's get into some of the details on the machine. It's a 2022. It has 20 hours on it. Super clean. This machine was bought with an extended warranty. So the machine was originally purchased in December of 2022. He bought a 2-year extended warranty on the tractor. So the tractor has bumper to bumper warranty until December of 2026, and it has powertrain warranty until December of 2030. So oddly enough, this machine has more warranty on it available as it sits than it would if you bought it brand new today and didn't buy the 2-year extended warranty, which I think at the time was $1,600 or $1,700. It's through Kubota. It's just an extension of the factory warranty, and I think it's gone up since then. So it's probably more expensive to buy that warranty. So not only is this low hours, but you have, like I said, more warranty available on this tractor than you would if you just went to the dealer lot right now, bought it new, and didn't buy an extended warranty. So let's get into some of the features. This is a 35 horsepower machine. It is a Grand L3560 2022. So this is one of Kubota's Deluxe. This is their most premium line of compact tractors that they offer. This machine has R4 tires. The rears have been filled with fluid, and they have been spaced to their widest position. So this machine is going to be very stable and already ready to go on people who have more hilly, sloping terrain. This is a GST transmission, and we're going to spend a good amount of time talking about that because that is, for those of you that don't know, that stands for glide shift transmission, and it is a very, very cool and still, in my opinion, a very prevalent transmission today. This has the 805 loader on it. This machine is available with the 555 loader on it, which is smaller and less expensive. But this gentleman who bought this opted for the larger, more expensive loader. So it's got 805 kilograms of lifting capacity to full height. That's what the nomenclature on the loader means, the LA 805. So about 1,750 pounds to full height. And of course, down at knee level or waist level, it will do quite a bit more than that. Let's see. Of course, it's a skid steer quick attach bucket, and if you pay attention in the pictures, you'll notice that technically this is Kubota's light material bucket, but it is more robustly built than pretty much almost any of the other compact tractor buckets that I see. It looks almost like the heavy duty versions of the other compact tractor buckets that I see from other brands, and this is just their standard or light duty bucket is what they call it. So very, very well constructed bucket, skid steer quick attach. The machine has a deluxe operator station, and I consider this easy fill fuel tank right here, this is where you fill the tank, to be part of that. It does have metal bracing up under here to protect it from sticks and things like that. Deluxe operator station, so deck mat, the controls are placed up on the fender and easy to reach and operate. Fully adjustable suspension seat, tilt steering, and just a wide open, flat, nice, comfortable place to sit. This has deluxe 3-point hitch componentry, so telescoping link ends and stabilizers, as well as it's got an extendable drawbar, and the let's see, the right side turnbuckle that adjusts the left to right balance has a plate on it that allows it to be adjusted without tools, which is very nice. And then finally, let's talk about this transmission. This is a glide shift transmission. And I don't know that this is internally the same, but in my eyes, from the way that you use this is like having a power shift transmission on a large ag tractor. You've got 12 gears in forward and 8 gears in reverse. They're all operated by one single lever that slides forward and backwards. You do not have to clutch to change gears on this tractor. And there's no ranges. So on a HST machine or a gear drive machine that's not a glide shift on any brand, you typically have a high or low, or high, medium, low, or A, B, and C, depending on the brand that you're buying. And you've got a certain set of speeds in low, a certain set of speeds in medium, and a certain set of speeds in high. Well, this has one range, and you can go from the slowest speeds to the fastest speeds just by pushing this lever forward. And it's a gear drive transmission, so you get all the power and the robustness of that without compromising your ability to quickly and easily change your speed. And I think that is a really, really cool option. I think it really closes the gap between the usability of to an HST tractor, and in some cases I think that this is better suited, and we'll get into that in just a minute. It also has a shuttle lever on the steering column from forward to reverse that can also be operated without the clutch, so you really don't have to use the clutch on this tractor unless you're inching up to things, or there's some sort of finesse that's involved that you need to be able to modulate the speed further than what you can do with the engine RPM and changing the gears. And we're doing, you'll see on the test drive, we do an application thing, and you can see how we can slow down and speed up. It's very, very cool. Compared to an HST, yes, the HST does probably have more variance in available speeds, but when you think about not having to have different ranges that you have to shift between, this makes this really compelling in certain situations. Number one, for a 35 horsepower machine, you're going to get the maximum amount of pulling, pushing, and PTO power because it's a gear drive transmission, right? And even if you got this in more horsepower, the same could still be said. So for the horsepower that it has, this transmission is going to maximize that horsepower across pulling, pushing, and PTO power. Secondly, if you imagine, let's just say that you had a dirt pile somewhere, and that you had, from where you scooped that dirt pile, you had a 500-yard run before where you were going to dump it. Well, a lot of times on an HST tractor, you need to be in low range to scoop that pile up. But then you may need to shift to medium because that's a really long run and you don't want to be going in low range the whole time. It's probably too slow. So you push into the pile in low, you stop, shift to medium, and now you can go on about your way. When you come back to push in the pile again, guess what? You stop again, put it back in low, push into the pile. With this tractor, because all the gears are sequential, 1 through 12, you don't got to do any of that. As you approach the pile, you can start gradually slowing the tractor down, or you could do it kind of abruptly with some clutching if you wanted to do. You could go from 6th or 7th or 8th to 1st and let out the clutch as it slows down, and push in your pile. And as you clutch to back, or you don't clutch to back up, you just pull that lever, and as you start to make that run, you just push the lever forward and you pick up your speed. You don't have to stop and shift. So once again, there are still some advantages to an HST machine over this, but this is a very unique transmission. It's very similar to a power shift in a large ag tractor. And I think that this is going to make a very cool machine for somebody who is willing to pay a little bit of the price of maybe having a clutch and a couple more levers with the power and some of the efficiency that they may gain out of it. Size-wise, this machine is it's bigger than a standard L. It's very similar in size to like an L3701. It's probably a little bit taller than that, so it's definitely going to be bigger than an L3902 or L4802 or L3302. But it's kind of going to be a little bit smaller than that MX line. On a John Deere, I think this is probably pretty similar in size, maybe a touch smaller than a 4M. Coyote would probably be a DK, or maybe even an NS or NX is kind of similar in size. This might be a little bit shorter than that, but this is getting into a larger frame than just a standard 35 horse compact tractor like a 3R or a CK3520 or an L3302, right? This is a bigger machine than that. I think the machine with the loader is probably around 5,000 pounds. This one does have the fluid in the tires, so I think you're probably looking at somewhere 5,600 pounds on this machine. The cutter that comes with it, it's a Land Pride RCR 1272. It's a 6-foot cutter. It does have a slip clutch on it. Cutter's in great shape. The only thing to know about the cutter is the current owner, he did back up kind of into a stump, and it bent some of the, or tore a little bit of the rubber shielding on the back, and it bent in the sheet metal just a little bit back there. It's sort of almost not noticeable other than you can see the tear in the sheet metal, and it's certainly not going to impact any usage or safety because the shielding is still in place. Other than that, it's in great shape. Got some just minor scuffing and scratches around it, which rotary cutters probably live the hardest life. So it's, the more it gets used, the more it's going to just get more scratches and scrapes and dents and dings and all that kind of stuff. This trailer, this is an Orange Line TU10. This is a Kubota trailer, but it's built by Big Tex for Kubota. They started doing this a handful of years ago, and some of the Kubota dealers have adopted it, some have not. These are very expensive trailers to buy new. This one is a 20-foot long trailer. It's got two 5,000 pound axles, so it's a 10,000 pound rated trailer. It's got brakes on both axles, and it also has an adjustable tongue, so you can adjust that to the height of what your pickup truck needs, and it takes a 2 5/16 ball. It has pull-out ramps on the back, and it's got this big heavy tubing that goes all the way around the trailer, so that if you're hauling something else, maybe not this tractor, and you need some extra support to keep it inside, you've got that. This is a very, very versatile trailer in terms of what it can do, and it's in very good shape. It does have some scratches and scuffing on it. These trailers come loaded, stacked, and so oftentimes the unloading process will put some minor scrapes and scratches on the trailer, and then I've been doing it. Stepping on the rails with your boots and things like that, you're just going to see scuff marks around it. But all things considered, the trailer is in very, very good shape. It has very few miles. In fact, until I did the haul yesterday from my place to, or from where I picked this up to our place, I think the trailer only had like 10 or 20 miles on it since the guy bought it from the dealership. So I did about 300 miles behind my 2500 truck, and it pulled like a dream. It was very smooth. The brakes worked great. This tractor and trailer is about to go, actually, when you watch this video, it will have been done. As I'm filming this, it's about to go get its full inspection and any servicing that it needs, so you can rest assured that it will be ready to go. And yeah, I think, last thing I just want to say, who's this package for? This package is for somebody who's probably got, I don't know, 5 to 20 acres, with maybe a lot of it being, or a good chunk of it being wooded. You know, this tractor, it's really an excellent loader tractor and utility tractor. And I would say it's probably a pretty good bush hogging tractor. With 35 horsepower in this frame, I think if you're going to be cutting thick, heavy stuff on a slope, having this gear transmission definitely makes a difference. But there may be times where you just have to go a little bit slower than you would like to go. So if you have lots and lots and lots of bush hogging to do, this may not be the best fit for you. But if you've got some bush hogging to do, driveway maintenance to do, moving logs and trees and pallets of things around, and just general utility work around your property, this is a great fit. And because it comes with the trailer, that means that you can haul it yourself for service if you choose to. You can also haul it to your neighbor's house or your family member's house, or you could haul it to a second piece of property that you may have. Maybe you keep this tractor stored in the city where you live, and you take it out to do food plots at your spot that you have for deer hunting, or you guys are, you bought property to move on eventually, and you can transport this back and forth. You can see that it fits very well on this trailer. The tongue weight is very manageable for a truck. I would say you do want a 3/4 ton truck to pull this package. Half ton would probably do it, but it's going to be heavy, and there's very little overhang of the tail wheel off the back of this trailer. So once again, I think this is a very good size for this. Anyways, I know that's long. Enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and do the test drive and see how that transmission works. All right, guys, we're going to do a little bit of a reshoot on this. We had some technical difficulties, and I realized that there's a couple things that I want to demonstrate that I didn't. So really, we want to focus on this transmission. And the way that you're supposed to operate it, you can shift all these gears without using the clutch. You can shift this shuttle lever without using the clutch. It does say that it wants you to return to neutral and then go to the opposite direction. So if you're in forward, you move it to neutral and then you move it to reverse, and vice versa, as opposed to just yanking it all the way back to reverse. It does say that it's best to operate it by letting it hit neutral first. So let's just start by, we're going to put it in first gear. You can see I didn't clutch for that. And now, as I push it forward, we're moving. And I can give it some throttle with my foot throttle. So if I want to go backwards, neutral, and now we're hitting reverse. Now if I want to go a little faster, now that's second gear. That's third gear. Well, let's go forward again. All right, so neutral, forward, right? Want to go a little faster. There we go, that's fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 9, 10, and then we can bring this back so that we're not blasting around this turn, right? Once again, this is a very versatile transmission, easy to operate. super smooth. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is how it responds under load or on an incline. Because one of the questions you may have is, well, you're doing this on flat ground, and what happens when you put it on an incline? So I'm gonna put this tractor back in four-wheel drive. A tip, sometimes if it's hard to get in two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive on a machine, it just needs to be unburdened. It's just stiff, and sometimes you can do that, picking the front end up, and it will sometimes allow it to go right in just like that. You should never have to jam that linkage. So let's get down, we're gonna back down the driveway because I want to demonstrate how the shifting works in this application. All right, so if you were to shift forward and reverse on a hill, it does actually put the tractor in neutral. And so you may have to do some clutching on a hillside or under, just so you don't roll backwards if you were wanting to go to forward. This gear shift lever though operates a little bit different, and you're gonna see what it's gonna do. It does bring the tractor to a stop, but it holds it where it is, and then it accelerates into the next gear. So you can shift this lever without clutching while under load climbing a hill. You know, I think if you had a severe load, maybe it does make sense to stop and clutch and then shift gears and let out, but I'm gonna demonstrate. We're gonna put it in forward. I'm gonna start in third, and we're gonna let out the clutch here, and we're gonna start climbing. All right, we're going up the hill. We're not going fast enough. Let's go to fourth gear. That worked pretty good. Let's go a little faster. You can see how the tractor does stop, sixth gear, and it actually rolls back just a skosh before the clutch engages it. So if I had to guess, that's probably harder on the transmission than you want it to be. And it would be better to shift not under severe load, or to use the clutch maybe. And I'm not sure, you know, you'll have to use your own judgment on that. It seems to work fine just like it was climbing that hill. And that driveway is actually, you know, it's not super steep, but it's definitely a hill. The other thing I wanted to show you is just wanted to demonstrate the application of, you know, let's say, I'm gonna put this back in two-wheel drive. Let's say that you were, you know, had a long run. We use this example in the description where you were pushing into a pile of dirt, and then you had to run for, you know, 500 meters and drop it, come back. You know, on an HST machine, you're probably doing some range levers shifting to get down into the low range where you can push in that pile. But you can see, you know, let's just say we were coming back. We're in ninth gear. We're coming back from a long drive, and as we're approaching our pile, I know that there's not one in front of me, but let's just pretend that there is. We can slow down, and we can bring the tractor all the way back down into a gear where we can now get in our pile, you know, lift up, shuttle back, just like that. My natural thing, I wanted to use the clutch there. And as even in reverse, you know, we're backing out of the pile. Pretend we're going to turn around and go the other direction. You know, we've already picked up our speed some. We're going to shuttle to neutral, shuttle to forward. And now as we straighten up, well, now we can start picking up speed, right? And we haven't had to stop and do any range shifting at all. So there are some applications where I feel like the HST machine is better. If you need to have a lot of variance in your speed while bush hogging on hillsides, you know, you can control it a little bit better than shifting these gears. But if you're doing a lot of going from point A to point B, doing loader work and things like that, I think it's a pretty compelling transmission. and I'm a pretty big fan. So anyways, that is it for the test drive. All right, everybody, this is the video walk around 2022 Kubota L3560GST 805 loader. Industrial tires. The rears are filled and spaced to the widest setting. The machine is very, very clean. On the tractor itself, there are no scratches and scuffs that I've been able to find. The tires, as you can see, they still have the little small things that poke up, letting you know that this has very little usage on it. Like I said, 20 hours. We've got the RC R1272 deluxe 3-point hitch back here, so you've got telescoping link ends and stabilizers. Let's see. Here's the damage on the cutter from him backing into a stump. Nothing crazy. These cutters live a hard life. Let's see. Yep. And we're going to take a second here in a minute to go over the controls, but you can see that the tractor is in excellent, excellent shape. Basically new condition. Okay, so this is your shuttle lever, forward to reverse, just like this, can be operated without the clutch. Down here, you've got your 2- and 4-wheel drive selection, clutch pedal. This is your gear selector. So you've got 1 through 12 moving forward and 1 through 8 in reverse, which is pretty smart because I don't know anybody who needs to go that fast in reverse. Over here, you've got PTO on and off, engine throttle, 3-point hitch up and down, and your loader controls. You've got a throttle pedal down here. You've got split brake pedals right here. Controls for your lights. You do have a tilt steering. It's operated by this little foot pedal right here, just like that. And then you've got your emissions controls, your hazard lights, as well as the button that allows you to toggle between your display settings on your screen. And that's pretty much it for the video walk around and the control layout. 2022 Kubota L3560GST. Thanks again for watching this video. If you have questions about this machine, you can reach me directly, matt@jamesonstractor.com. You can call 615-200-0703, or you can visit our website, jamesonstractor.com/inventory, to see everything that we've currently got. If this tractor is still available, it'll be on there. You can also just go to our homepage, jamesonstractor.com, and click on the inventory tab up there, and it will once again show you what we currently have in stock and if this tractor is still available for sale. Again, appreciate you watching this video. Have a blessed day.